Identified 10 o'clock docket. All right, good morning, everybody. Court will go ahead and start with the January 27th, 2022 docket, the 10 o'clock docket. And let me see who we're going to have here. Number one, CL 213304D, Elson LLC versus Angela Science.
Good morning, Your Honor. Melissa Garza here on behalf of the plaintiff, Alson LLC.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. And then we have Angela Science. She needs to unmute. All right. Good morning, Ms. Science. You don't have do you have an attorney, ma'am?
I do not know.
No attorney. And Ms. Carranza, what do we have? This is an appeal from JP Court or something?
It is, Your Honor. There was a final judgment in favor of my client in an eviction action. And that judgment was appealed and is here with this honorable court.
Okay. So now we got to set it for bench trial or trial on the merits?
That is correct, Judge.
Submit an order, ma'am. Submit an order with notices to everybody, including, of course, Angela Science. And we will get you a date for a bench trial on the merits.
Judge, if I may, in this case, Ms. Science has not filed the appeal bond that was ordered in the amount of $1,000. So our argument is that under Texas Rules of Civil Procedure 143A, she has not perfected her appeal. And we're asking that this case be dismissed.
I did submit the appeal. And there was conflicted information provided because papers that were submitted initially by the landlord were not correct. They didn't have the appropriate information, and they had told me it was kind of back and forth with the county clerks. So I did exactly what they told me to do, and I had submitted that.
Judge, there was a letter submitted by the clerk giving her notification that she needed to pay the $1,000 bond in order to perfect her appeal. That was in September of 2021. We're now January 27th, 2022, and that appeal bond has not been registered or deposited with the court. And for those reasons, we're asking this case be dismissed.
Okay, is that true, Ms. Science? You haven't deposited a $1,000 bond?
I've made the payment into the court registry that the court told me to make, which was the $1,200. And they told me that was the only thing that needed to be paid. So I called directly to the county clerk, and that's the information they provided me with. Again, ever since the case got to them initially, there's been conflicting information. So that's why I called them directly and I asked what needed to be paid by what date. And they told me the $1,200 was the only thing I needed to pay. And other than that, there was no actual due date on the information that was provided by the landlord as far as the rent amount. So that was the only thing that was left kind of misunderstood and in a sense. But other than that, I did make the initial payment of the $1,200.
Okay, but the $1,200 is what? Is that rent?
That's what I was going to say, Your Honor.
Correct. That's what they told me to pay. They didn't say that the $1,000 bond was needed just because it was going to be for the $1,200 only. So that's the information that was provided to me.
Okay, Ms. Carranza?
Judge, the letter that was sent to Ms. Science dated September 29th, 2021, specifically tells her that she has 20 days from that date, September 29th, to pay $1,000. It says it must be paid. And it says that in order for her appeal to be deemed perfected, it has to be received. She's already acknowledged that she did not pay that. That's very clear. That doesn't come from my client. That comes straight from the county clerk. So I'm looking at the letter, it's pretty clear that she had a duty to pay that bond amount in order to perfect this appeal. And she has wholly failed to do that, Judge.
And does that letter mention anything about the $1,200?
It doesn't, Your Honor. The judgment from the JP court talks about the $1,200 that she has to be paying.
Right.
So if you look at the court's docket, there's a deposit in the amount of $1,200 that was made on October 15th of 2021 for the October rent. There was one made on September 27th for $1,200, and it's noted in the docket that it's for September rent. And the final one was November 24th of 2021, and that was for $1,200, also the November rent. Judge, and the $1,200 is the amount of the rent due under the underlying lease in this case. There's
Correct,
no
which is
deposit. Excuse me, ma'am.
what they told me to pay, and again, it
Okay,
was never
Miss Science, Miss
notated.
Science, let her finish talking, okay?
So
Go ahead.
as you can see, Your Honor, there is nowhere in here any indication of the actual bond being paid.
Okay, as we speak, I got a copy of the letter already. It is here, September 29th, 2021, to Angela Science, and it's got the case number and so forth, and in the middle, in there, the appeal bond for the filing of such appeal in court is $1,000 and must be paid within 20 days. So that did pay. Now, failure to pay, is that a grounds for dismissal?
It is, Your Honor, under Texas Rules of Civil Procedure 143A, the appellant is denied any and all remedies that they're seeking if they fail to perfect their lien. They fail to perfect the appeal, which is what's happened here.
Okay. All right, then submit an order.
Judge, one other thing, there is on deposit with the court, the amount of $3,600. And at this time, I'm asking the court allow us to withdraw that as rent. That is rent for September, October, and November.
That's granted.
Thank you, Judge. I'll submit an order.
All right, you both may be excused. Have a great day. Thank you, bye.
Thank you.
Number five.
What exactly does this mean though, on my end?
Well, the appeal is not perfected. They don't have an appeal. It didn't happen.
So,
You didn't do it right, so they're gonna continue with the eviction now.
The lower court judgment says.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back to the lower court decision.
that's the problem with that judge, that, I mean, everything was done incorrectly, and that's why I submitted the appeal. And I made the payment that they told me to make. How they applied it or where they applied it to, I mean, I don't know how that works, obviously.
Well-
It doesn't really matter. I am gonna move out because this landlord has reacted, in
Okay.
retaliation. But I just want to know, by when do I have to move out? I'm planning to move out by this weekend, to be honest.
They'll give you like 5-10 days, so it'll be in an order or something.
Okay, sounds
You got
good.
plenty of time. Thank you, ma'am. Who's next?
Number five.
Number five. All right. Number five, Mr. Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, Dallas Gutierrez. Okay, I see the name on the screen, but he's not responding. We might have to go to another.
Ask him what his name is.
Yeah, Mr. Rigoberto.
Is he Rigoberto Salinas?
Yes.
Are you Rigoberto Salinas?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the lawyer, I guess.
Yeah. So am I. I'm waiting for the lawyer.
Okay.
If I don't get him, we'll cut you off and bring him back in a little while.
Okay.
Mr.
okay.
Mr.
Your
Gutierrez.
Honor, I'm sorry about that, Your Honor.
Oh, there you go.
I was running to my car. I just left the courthouse.
Oh, okay, no problem, Mr. Gutierrez. Your case F2709-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Rigoberto Salinas and Maria Victoria Salinas Gonzalez. Is it final divorce?
It's a default divorce, Your Honor. We'd like the court to take judicial notice that she has been served, and it's been over 20 days, and that she's filed no response.
All right, court will take judicial notice of the entire file in cause number F2709-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Rigoberto Salinas and Maria Salinas Gonzalez. You're going to be asking questions of Mr. Salinas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Salinas, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down, okay? You may proceed, Mr. Gutierrez.
Mr. Salinas, can you please state your name?
Rigoberto Salinas.
Are you presently married to Maria Victoria Salinas Gonzalez Jaime?
Yes.
Have you been a domiciliary of Texas for the preceding 6-month period and a resident of this county for the preceding 90-day period?
Yes.
Were you married to Victoria Salinas Gonzalez Jaime on September 17, 2005? And did you cease to live together as spouses on about September 2017?
Yes.
Has your marriage to Maria Victoria Salinas Gonzalez Jaime become insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities that destroys legitimate ends of marriage of the relationship?
Yes. Yes.
Is there any reasonable expectation of reconciliation?
No. No.
There was only one child born during this marriage, correct?
Correct.
And that child's name is Victoria Salinas Gonzalez, and she's 13.
Yes. Correct.
Did the two of you adopt any children?
No.
And there is currently a court-ordered conservatorship regarding the child, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Are you asking those orders to be altered or amended?
Don't understand.
Are you
the
asking
question.
those orders to be changed?
No.
Okay. Does your child own any property?
No.
And are you presenting, or will you be presenting a final divorce decree with this judge?
Yes. Yes.
And do you believe in the proposed parenting plan will be in the best interest of the child?
Yes. Yes.
And that you two do not have any community property, correct?
No. No.
All right. And are you asking this court to grant you a divorce and approve all items that will be in the proposed final decree of divorce?
Yes. Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Court will hereby go ahead and dissolve the marriage of petitioner respondent. Court will grant petitioner or relief request to hear in open court. Court will await hearing a divorce decree for signature.
Thank you.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you all very much. You both may be excused. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, bye. All right, what do we have? Mr. Calistro Villarreal and Mr. Abel and Hoss, all right? Morning, folks. Morning. I have here
Good morning.
F0235-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Charlie Lopez and Melissa Mesa. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, gentlemen, I have a status hearing and I also have a motion to appoint a guardian ad litem.
Judge, regarding the motion to appoint, it's being withdrawn. I called Mr. Hinojos's office last night that
Withdrawn.
No, Judge. No, Judge, if I may.
Okay,
No, Judge, forgive me. Let me clarify. I filed the guardian ad litem. Calixto filed the attorney ad litem. I'm still asking for the guardian ad litem, Judge, in this case. It's a custody case.
the guardian ad litem,
I'm sorry?
we agree.
Okay, very well. Thank you, Cal. So, yeah, Judge, Cal, who do you want to use? Judge, who do you recommend for a guardian ad litem?
Well, I'm hoping you folks agree on somebody.
It could be Edna Cedillo, Diana Aguilar, Sofia Arispe, who's right there on the screen also.
You can agree to Ms. Arispe, Judge.
Ms. Arisa, you agree? All
Sophia,
right.
are you taking appointments for guardian ad litem?
Notice of your beverage when
Very well, Judge. Sofia Arispe, Judge. I'll
Very well.
put an order for Sophia.
That's the agreement. Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have. Cal, do you have anything else?
That's all we have, Your Honor.
Thank you very
Judge.
much. You all may be excused. Have a great day.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Order, Abel.
I'll prepare the order. You got it. Thank you.
So then that takes care of Charlie and what was it? Melissa.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all. You may be
Thank you.
excused. Thank you. Who do you want next? Number 4. F2205-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Miguel Romero and Maria Resendez.
Your Honor, Sofia Arispe for Miguel Romero. I believe we do need, I need an interpreter for my client, Judge.
Yeah,
Okay.
Your Honor, for the respondent, she's here.
Okay, Mr. Peña represents Maria Resendez and
She's
Ms.
here. We're
Arispe.
ready to proceed by agreement.
Okay, and Ms. Arispe represents Miguel Romero. Okay, we have an agreement. Who's going to be testifying?
Mr. Romero will be testifying, Judge.
Okay. Call Court, good morning.
Buenos días, señor Romero. Levante su mano derecha, por favor.
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Usted jura que el testimonio que va a dar es la verdad, solamente la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
You may put your hand down,
Puede bajar su mano.
and court will hereby, first of all, take judicial notice of the entire file in F-2205-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Miguel Romero and Maria Franco Reséndez.
Mr. Peña, we're getting feedback from you.
All right. Okay.
May I proceed,
Miss-
Judge?
Yes, Ms. Arispe, you may proceed.
Is your name Miguel Candiano Romero?
Su nombre es Miguel Candelario Romero.
Candiano.
Candiano Romero. Yes.
Sí.
And you're married to María Juana Franco Reséndiz.
¿Y usted está casado con María Juana Franco Reséndiz?
Sí.
Yes.
And you have one daughter, Elida Karina Romero.
Y tiene una hija, Elida Karina Romero.
Sí.
Yes.
And you lived in Texas for 6 months and in Hidalgo County for 90 days before you filed divorce.
Y usted vivió aquí en Texas 6 meses y 90 días en el condado de Hidalgo antes de que usted archivara la demanda de divorcio.
Sí.
Yes.
And you're married on or about December 21st, 2012.
Y se casó
And-
más o menos el día 21 de diciembre del 2012.
Sí.
Yes.
And you are asking for divorce because your marriage is insupportable due to conflicts between you and your wife.
Y usted está pidiendo el divorcio porque hay conflicto en las personalidades de ustedes.
Sí.
Yes.
And you and your wife have agreed to all the issues in this divorce?
Y usted y su esposa han llegado a un acuerdo en todo lo del divorcio.
Sí.
Yes.
In reference to the child, you will be named joint managing conservators, with you having the primary custody of your child.
Tocante a Elida, los dos van a ser conjuntos, van a tener custodia conjuntos, pero usted va a ser el primario que va a tener la custodia de la niña.
Sí.
Yes.
Visitations will be as agreed, and if there's no agreement, extended standard visitation.
Las visitaciones van a ser por acuerdo a como ustedes puedan llegar a un acuerdo, y si no, entonces van a seguir la orden, que va a ser específico.
Sí. Así es.
Yes.
And you've agreed to child support of $100 a month, commencing March 1st.
Y han llegado a un acuerdo del mantenimiento de la niña a $100 por mes. El primer pago va a ser el día 1 de marzo de este año.
Sí, así es.
Yes.
Medical support will be $35 a month, commencing March 1st, plus 50% of uncovered medical cost.
Y la aseguranza médica es $35 por mes y 50% de lo que la aseguranza no cubra.
Sí.
Yes.
And the child is not to have any contact with Jesus Gonzalez.
Y la niña de no tener ningún contacto con Jesús González.
Sí, así es.
That's correct.
Reference to property, the only thing you have a personal effects.
Tocante a propiedad, lo único que hay es cosas personales.
Sí.
Yes.
Your wife will keep a 2007 Malibu and all the household items.
Su esposa se va a quedar con un 2007 Malibu y las cosas de la residencia.
Sí.
Yes.
Sí, así es. Sí.
That's correct.
And you will keep a 2003 Suburban.
Y usted se va a quedar con la 2003 Suburban.
Sí, así es.
Yes.
And each one of you will keep your respective bank account and pay your respective debt.
Y cada uno se va a quedar con sus cuentas de banco y con las los deudas que cada uno tenga.
Correcto, sí.
Correct, yes.
And you will keep your business known as MCR Express and the vehicle that goes with that company, which is the cab to the trailer that you currently drive.
Y usted se va a quedar con el negocio MCR Express y la caja que va con la trailer que usted maneja.
Sí, así es.
Yes, that's correct.
And you're asking this court for a divorce.
Y usted le está pidiendo a la corte un divorcio.
Sí.
Yes.
That's the witness, Judge.
All right, Mr.
I have
Peña.
no question. I have no questions of the petitioner, Your Honor, and Ms. Franco is present, and she's in agreement with all the terms of the expressed by Ms. Ariste.
Okay, very well. Then court will hereby dissolve the marriage of petitioner respondent. Well, first of all, we'll approve the agreement of the parties, and then we'll dissolve the marriage of petitioner respondent, and we'll await a decree for signature. All right,
Judge, I'll
that'll do
prepare it
it.
and send it to counsel. Does the court want the parties to sign or just the attorneys?
The parties to sign, please.
Okay, Judge, I'll do that.
Okay, thank
Thank you.
you
May
so
we
much.
be
Y'all may be
excused?
excused. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Thanks a lot, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Number 10.
Number 10. Number 10. Mr. Sanchez, let me see here.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Sanchez. You're here on F4109-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Yesenia Lizette Reyes and Epifanio Reyes.
Correct, Judge.
Okay. I see yourself, and of course, Ms. Reyes is there on the screen, and there's Epifanio right there. Now, Mr. Reyes does not have an attorney, right?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. We thought it was going to be a default judgment today because we
Okay.
served him, had not heard from him at all. We have a final decree
Okay.
that was prepared. I don't know if he's had a chance to see it,
Okay.
to cooperate.
Okay, Mr. Reyes, can you hear me? You need to.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Do you have an attorney, Mr. Reyes?
Oh, no, sir.
All right. Have you been served with a copy of the proposed decree that we're going to be talking about?
Oh, yes, sir.
Did you read it already and understand it?
Yes, I did.
Are you in agreement with it?
Yes, sir. I'm agreeing to it.
Okay. Very well. Let's put on a little bit of testimony. Okay, Mr. Sanchez?
Okay.
Once again, court will take judicial notice of the entire file in F4109-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Yesenia Reyes and Epifanio Reyes. Ms. Reyes, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You need to unmute.
You have to unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down, Mr. Sanchez. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record, please?
Yesenia Lizette Reyes.
And you are married to Epifanio Reyes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're the petitioner in this case. That means you filed this divorce, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, with Mr. Reyes, there were no children of the marriage, correct? Well, your children are already over the age of 18, correct?
Correct.
And so this divorce has nothing to do with child support or possession and access of the children, correct?
Right.
You're just asking the court to dissolve the marriage and then split some property that we have detailed in the divorce decree. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, before you filed this divorce, ma'am, did you live in Texas for at least 6 months? Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
You lived in Texas for 6 months before you filed. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you lived in Hidalgo County for at least 90 days. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have to say yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you. There's a court reporter, so you have to, say it in complete words. I didn't understand you there. Okay, so you're asking the court to award you the 100% of the real property and the home located at in Donna. That's lot 23, Texas Valley Estates in Hidalgo County. Is that your understanding, ma'am?
yes, sir.
Is that the house that you live in right now?
Yes.
Okay. And you're also asking the court to award you all the furnishings that are in that home. Is that correct?
Correct.
The funds that you have in your name from the sale of lot 30, Evergreen Valley Estates, Phase 3, is that correct? Awarded to you?
Correct.
And your security service union account, the account ending in 77071. Is that your understanding, ma'am?
Yes.
And also any accounts in your names, bank accounts, 401ks, retirements, anything with your name on it, you're asking the court to award it to you, correct?
Correct. Just my name. I don't want any of his stuff, like any of his money that.
We'll go over that in a second. Yes, ma'am. And also the Lexus that's the 2005 motor vehicle that's in your name, or sorry, in your possession, that you're asking the award that to you. Okay. Now, it's your understanding, ma'am, that the court will also award Mr. Reyes the property at it's the east 46 feet of lot 18 in Donna. That's another property. Is that a home, ma'am, as well?
That's a commercial property.
Okay. And you and him have agreed that he's going to stay with that property. Is that your understanding, ma'am?
Yeah, that's his.
Okay. And whatever furnishings he has in his possession, whatever accounts he has in his name, and the 2009 Chevrolet Silverado awarded to him, correct?
Correct.
He's going to pay whatever debts are in his name. You pay whatever debts are in your name. Is that your understanding, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then finally, you're asking the court to restore your name to Rios. Is that correct, ma'am?
Correct.
Okay. And ma'am, you're asking this court for a divorce because there's no expectation that you're going to reconcile, is there? Is that correct?
Correct.
And your marriage has become insupportable. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Your Honor, I would pass the witness, and I just have a couple questions for Mr. Reyes.
Okay. Mr. Reyes, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Sanchez, you may proceed.
Yeah, your name for the record, sir?
Epifanio Reyes.
Yes, sir. And you're here today appearing on your own. You don't have a lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you understand that I represent Mr. Reyes and that I don't represent you. You understand that, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, we had served you before, and up until today, you have not filed, you didn't file an answer, and you have not signed the final decree of divorce, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Are you in agreement with the property division that I asked Reyes about, sir? Everything that I asked her awarded to her. Are you in agreement with that, sir?
The only question I got is I wasn't aware of that she wanted the funds from the lot 50 in Edinburgh. That I was not aware of.
Okay, that would be actually lot 30, right? Evergreen Valley Estates?
Lot 50.
Okay, because I have here lot 30. Well, okay.
It's actually lot 50.
Okay, well, we'll have to make that change. Well, sir, is that something that you're telling the court you can't agree with and you want to negotiate with her further? I don't know what the court wants to do, Your Honor. Obviously, Your Honor, we didn't know he'd be here today. We thought what we put before the court, what we're going to put before the court today was fair. We've not heard from him. I
guess, do you want some time to negotiate or hire an attorney to fight for it, or what do you want to do, Mr. Reyes?
I just wasn't aware of it. If that's what she wants, I mean, she can keep it. I mean, it's a surprise to me what she's saying right now, but I mean, that's what she wants. She can keep it. I am not going to try and fight over something that, that's what she wants. So that's fine.
Okay. That's good to hear. Thank you for your answer.
Well, okay, sir. Also, you're in agreement, obviously, to stay with the possessions you have, counts in your name awarded to you. Is that correct?
I don't have any 2009 Chevrolet that she is claiming.
All right. Did you used to have that vehicle?
I never had a 2009.
What type of vehicle year was it? Or is
Only thing I have right now is a 2000. That's it.
2000.
Oh, a what? I'm sorry, I'm gonna make a note of that. A what, sir?
A 2000 Chevrolet.
Okay.
2000 Chevrolet, is it a Silverado?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we have the date of the vehicle incorrect, or the year. So it's a
Okay.
2000 Chevrolet Silverado, and that's, you're asking the court to award to you, correct?
I mean, if it's possible, yes. I mean, I would like to keep it.
Sure, okay. All right, well, that makes sense. She's staying with the Lexus, you stay with the Chevy Silverado. Ma'am, Ms. Reyes, you've heard what he stated today. Are you okay with that change?
Yes, sir.
And do you agree that perhaps I have it wrong, that it's lot 50 instead of lot 30?
But it is not 50. It
It's
was
50.
probably a typo.
Okay, we'll change that. Your Honor, that concludes the testimony. Since he's here and appearing and making a general appearance, Your Honor, we'd ask that he sign the divorce decree. I can email it to him, or he can come by my office. How do you prefer, Mr. Reyes? Do you want to come by to sign it?
I'll just email. It's fine.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't think we have your email address. Do you mind giving it?
Yesenia can give it to you.
Yesenia, do you have the email? His email?
I think so. I would just give it to him, Junior. You're already there.
Yeah, it'd be great, Mr. Reyes, if I could get your
You can
email.
give it to us here also, Mr. Reyes.
I'll let her look it up. I'll make her work for it.
Okay, will you text it to her or something?
She knows it.
Okay, do you have each other's phone numbers? Ms. Reyes, do you have his phone number?
Yes.
Okay, you'll secure it. All right.
We'd ask that he, just on the record, that he give her the email address today by 5 p.m., Your Honor. That way we can get him right away.
All right, so order, yeah.
And Your Honor, if we could also put a fuse on it, if he could, today's Thursday, if he could turn around and get that back to me within what the court's discretion, that way I can get it to the court right away.
Right.
I think without a timeline, both parties may lag, and we just want to get it done.
What do you want to do, 5 days?
How about by Monday, Mr. Reyes, that you get the signature page back to me, back to my office?
Can do it today, not an issue.
Okay.
That'll work. That'll work. But just make sure you do those changes, Mr. Sanchez.
I'll do the changes right away and get
on the lot and the vehicle
for Ms. Reyes and get it to the court at the end of the day or tomorrow morning.
All right, that'll work. Court will hereby take judicial notice of the entire file in F4109-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Yesenia Reyes and Epifanio Reyes. Court will hereby approve the agreement of the parties, will dissolve the marriage of petition respondent, and will await a decree for signature. All right, thank you all very much. Good luck, and you'll have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Mr. Vasquez is here, number 8 and number 9, but right now we can do number 9. Both parties are on.
Number nine. Mr. Vasquez, is it going to be in the matter of the marriage of Diana Grajales and Jonathan Gomez, F4048-21-4. Mr. Vasquez, good morning, sir.
They both need to unmute, and Diana needs camera.
All right, we need video on Diana Grajales. And Mr. Gomez, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, okay, you're fine. You're okay there. And Ms. Grajales is the one we need video.
And unmute.
And unmute. Set for final, Mr. Vasquez?
That is correct, Your Honor. Gilbert Vasquez on behalf of Ms. Grajales, Your Honor.
Okay.
Has she logged on or the video?
Yeah, she's there on the screen, but I see the name only and no video.
Okay, let me have my secretary text her.
Okay.
I wonder if she can hear you or if she's not responding as far as.
She needs to unmute.
She can hear. She has audio.
Okay. I'm going to try to get a hold of her, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm going to go upstairs and get her file so I can get the phone number. My secretary's not answering.
Okay.
Let me get the phone number. Let me see. I apologize, Your Honor. I'll be right
All right.
back.
Okay. Marcos Ochoa. Can you hear me, Mr. Ochoa? Yeah, you need to unmute.
There you
All right.
go.
Okay, unmute, Mr. Ochoa. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Your attorney is Juan Ramos.
Yes, it is. Yes, he is.
And I don't see him in the waiting room. And Monica Ochoa is the other party. I don't see her in the waiting room, nor the attorney Singletary. Why don't you call the attorney and tell him what he's going to do, okay, sir?
So he can
You want me to-
Yeah, call your attorney and tell him to log on or something. Yes, Rick.
Yes, Judge, for the record, Mr. Ramos's office called me this morning requesting the Zoom information. I did provide that to the secretary. And so I would assume that he would be logging in right now.
He was logged on, but he logged off.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now, Mr. Ramos.
I have Rick call the office.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ochoa.
Rick, can you call the office?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, and on that case, on the Ochoa divorce,
yes,
I spoke to Juan Ramos yesterday. We had been requesting documents on this case. So he set it for final hearing so that we could try to push things along. And yesterday he called me and was sending me documentation. So what I told him we were going to do is request at least a week so that we can go over the documents we got yesterday and I think today. So, but
Not
I just
really.
want to tell you that until he logs on.
Okay. This is on the Marcos Ochoa and Monica Ochoa divorce?
Is he here?
Correct.
For Merida?
Okay. And you're representing Ms. Lopez, Ms. Singletary?
Miss Monica Ochoa.
Right. But okay, you're standing in for Nerida and Singletary?
No, Monica Ochoa, I think she was her attorney years ago, and then I'm her attorney now.
Oh, okay, okay. We don't have that. We don't have your name, so that'll
Okay, Juan Ramos just logged on. Let me bring him on.
be okay, Gilbert.
So you can make that announcement, Gilbert.
Yes,
All
Your Honor.
right. All right, Mr. Ramos is coming in.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Ramos. We're here on F5743-13-4 in the Ochoa divorce. And yes, sir. What's the announcement?
Your Honor, Gilbert Vasquez on behalf of Ms. Ochoa, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're requesting, and I don't know if Mr. Ramos is okay with it, but I had told him yesterday that we wanted more time to review the documents we got yesterday and this morning, and hopefully just a week reset so we can finalize this case.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
We need a notice sitting here, nice.
If they can finalize it, everybody signs.
Okay, folks, if you can finalize it and everybody signs on it, that'll do it. Just submit that, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll do that.
All right.
Will do,
You only be
Judge.
excused. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramos. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
You and
Mr.
Mr. Ochoa
Ochoa?
can be excused.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna
Mr.
call Ms.
Vasquez, we're
Yes, sir.
going back to Grajales.
Yes. I'm gonna call her
yes.
right now, Your Honor. She still has not unmuted.
All right.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
Judge,
yes.
I sent to Ms. Grajales a message via the Zoom chat, and she's responding to me that she's unable to undo her video, but she can hear the proceedings.
Yeah, but
I've already instructed her to unmute and undo the video, but she has not responded to me yet.
Okay.
And now she's responding that she's trying.
Okay. Is it a final divorce, Mr. Vasquez?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Is it agreed to?
It's agreed to, as far as I know, Your Honor. I could proceed with Mr.
I was going to say that. Yeah, proceed with Mr. Gomez there. I know that Mr. Gomez does not have an attorney, but let's see if we can close it with Mr. Gomez. Can you hear Mr. Gomez?
Yes, I can.
All right. Good morning, sir. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. You may proceed, Mr. Vasquez.
Mr. Gomez, good morning. You know that I am your wife's attorney, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you are not represented by legal counsel in this case?
No.
And you have actually signed the agreed final decree of divorce, correct?
Yes, we signed it. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Okay.
Yes. And we are making some corrections on that, but I'll go over the case with you right now. So you are over the age of 18, correct?
That's correct.
And you are presently married to Diana Grajales, correct?
Correct.
Before this lawsuit was filed, this divorce, you lived here at the state of Texas for at least 6 months, correct?
That's correct.
And you lived in this county at least 90 days.
Yep.
Yes?
Yes.
You were married to Ms. Grajales on December 1st, 2017, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
And you stopped living with her as husband and wife August 5th of 21, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And your marriage to Ms. Grajales has become insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities that destroys the legitimate ends of the marriage relationship, correct?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct.
There is no reasonable expectation of reconciliation, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So you think that you may get back together with Ms. Grajales?
Or I don't know.
Are you talking about like right now? Do you think that she wants to stay married to you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so right now there is no reasonable expectation of reconciliation, correct?
No.
Okay. Maybe in the future you all can work something out, but right now that has not changed, correct?
That's correct.
So you have one child with Ms. Grajales, correct?
Yep, just one.
Okay. And your child's name is Zoe Anali Gomez, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And she was born July 16th of 2019, correct?
Yes, sir.
So she's about 2.5 years of age right now.
That's correct.
Okay. At this time, Ms. Grajales is not expecting any children, correct?
No.
She's not pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you all did not adopt children?
No.
Okay. Okay, so you've already signed the agreed final decree of divorce, right? And you're ready to go with that agreement.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go over some of those facts because we have some modified possession custody orders in this case, correct? Okay, so you're asking this court to, okay, let's go. I'm sorry, let me take that back. So right now we have modified it, like I said. So what you've been doing throughout the temporary orders and what we're requesting to be permanent is a modified possession order. And it's as follows. It says that you are having visitation with your child on the first, third, and the fifth Sunday of each month, correct?
Correct.
And it's for 2 hours, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
and it's supervised.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what we've been doing since we got our temporary orders in this case, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And we're going to continue this permanently, correct?
Yes.
And you think that's in the best interest of this child, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And the reason we think it's in the best interest, Diana Grajales, and the arrangements y'all made is because there was allegations that you physically abused Miss Grajales and the child, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So after all of that and after the temporary orders and even up right now, you still think it's in the best interest to continue this type of visitation with your child, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that is the reason for that type of custody. The only other difference, correct? I'm sorry, that's the reason we have this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And with the holidays, you also will have supervised visitation for Christmas, for New Year's, and for Thanksgiving. And on Christmas, it's going to be for 2 hours from 1 to 3. That's Christmas Day, correct?
That's
Thanksgiving.
correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's correct, correct?
Yep.
And for Thanksgiving, it's going to be for 2 hours from 1 to 3, correct?
Yes.
And on New Year's
Yes.
Day, it'll be for 2 hours from 1 to 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and all visitation, just so that it's clear, is always supervised, correct?
Yes.
And that supervised visitation can be done by Ms. Grajales or her mother, correct?
Yep.
And also Ms. Grajales has the ability to choose, if she can't do it or her mother can't do it, she can choose someone else, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then we also have a permanent injunction that's taken place in this case, that you will stay at least 250 yards away from Ms. Grajales, correct? And you will also stay away from your child at least 250 yards, correct?
That's correct.
And you will also stay away from their home at 112 Rio Rojo Street, Donna, Texas, at least 250 yards, correct?
Correct.
And that also carries over to wherever they may reside if they move from this address, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now, Ms. Grajales, you're in agreement that she will become the sole managing conservator of your child, correct?
Correct.
And you are the possessory conservator, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she will have the exclusive rights and duties for your child, correct?
Correct.
She'll have the exclusive right and duty to designate the primary residence of this child without geographic restrictions, correct? And she will also have I'm sorry?
No, that's correct.
And she will also have the exclusive right to consent to medical, dental, and surgical treatment involving your child, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The same is true of psychiatric or psychological treatment, correct? And she will receive, I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's correct.
And she will receive all child support payments, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And the other items that are standard within our family code for exclusive rights and duties for Ms. Grajales, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now let's get into your property that we're dividing in this case. And this is the agreement you all have come to. On your property, I apologize. And you will be providing medical and health insurance. Medical health insurance for your child, correct?
Yes.
And actually in this case, it's going to be through Medicaid, correct?
Yes, correct.
Because you don't have insurance with your employer, correct?
It's like health insurance with my employer?
Yes.
I had applied for it, but they haven't gone back to me about it.
Okay. So
but
if you
still pending.
Okay. So if for now, we're going to go ahead and put it under Medicaid. Is that okay?
Okay.
And then if you do get insurance, you'll have the right to switch the child onto your private insurance. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? Are you in agreement with that?
Oh, okay.
You are, yes or no?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. And then you'll also provide dental as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And for now, you're going to want that dental to go through Medicaid until you get private insurance, correct?
Yes, correct.
So as far as the property that will be awarded to your wife will get everything that is in her care, custody, and control at this time, correct?
Correct, yes.
Or that's in her name, correct?
Yes.
she's gonna receive all cash or money that she has in any financial institution, correct?
Correct.
And she's gonna be awarded the 2006 Nissan Sentra, correct?
Yes.
And she's awarded the 2008 Chevy Avalanche, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And she is awarded 100% of any type of retirement that she may have, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, as far as her debts, she's going to receive all debts that that she has in her name at this time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. She's going to also incur any debt that she has incurred after the separation, which was August the 5th of 21, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then she'll also be responsible for any debts associated to the vehicles that she has been awarded in this case, correct?
Correct.
As far as your property, you're going to be awarded everything that's in your possession, your care, or custody or control at this time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And anything that's under your name at this time, correct?
Yes, correct.
You will also be awarded any and all monies that you have in any financial institution, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And you will be awarded the 2014 Fiat, correct?
Yes.
And then 100% of any retirement you have.
Correct.
Okay. And then as far as your wife, and I apologize for this, she'll also be awarded any insurance policy on her life, correct?
Correct.
And then you will also be awarded any retirement or any insurance that you have on your life, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. As far as debts, you're gonna, any and all debts associated with what you've been awarded in this case or in this decree will be awarded to you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically that the debt that is associated to your 2014 Fiat.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Now there's a little bit of difference in this case than other normal family cases that I've had. So during your marriage to Ms. Grajales, she allowed her name and credit to be used to purchase a mobile home and lot for her mother, correct? And her mother's name is Antonia de la Cruz, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you lived in this home while you were married to Ms. Grajales and your child, you all lived in this home with your mother-in-law, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
But that home, even if it's under Ms. Grajales' name, your wife, you acknowledge that home belongs to her mother, Antonia de la Cruz, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's why we have not divided this as a community asset in this case, because that home does not belong to you or Ms. Grajales, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it belongs to her mom.
Okay, and that house is located at 1112 Rio Rojo Street, Donna, Texas, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a mobile home, correct?
It's a double wide.
Okay, and it's on a lot there, lot 63, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. So the terms of this agreement that you just testified to as far as property is just and right, correct? It's a fair and equitable. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, what?
It's fair and equitable to you both, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And as far as the visitation and the custody of your child, that is all in the best interest of your child, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so if there are any corrections we need to make to this decree, you will sign it, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And you're asking this court to divorce you and Ms. Grajales?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Grajales, I have a question, and I can't ask Ms. Grajales right now, but I noticed on her, when we signed our contract, everything was Diana Grajales, but on some of her emails, it says her last name is de la Cruz. What is Diana Grajales? I mean, is her name, should it be changed? That's what I'm trying to get at. Do you know if she wants to change her name?
I'm sorry?
Do you know if she wants to change her name? Okay.
Oh, her name is Diana Grajales.
Okay.
De la Cruz.
Okay. So she does not want to change her name. She wants to keep it. She just sent me a message. Okay. She wants to keep it as Diana Grajales. Okay.
Okay.
That's, I pass the witness, Your Honor. We're asking for a divorce.
All right, then thank you for your testimony, Mr. Gomez. Court will take judicial notice on the entire file here, cause number F4048-21-4 in the matter of the marriage of Diana Grajales and Jonathan Gomez. Court will hereby approve the agreement of the parties, will dissolve the marriage of petitioner and respondent, and will await a decree for signature. All right, that'll do it. Thank you all very much. You all may be excused.
I have one more case, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Gomez. You may be excused. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna get, who is it, Mr. Gregorio? Let me just check it.
Yes.
Mr. Gregorio Trevino, right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. There he is.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Trevino. Court is here continuing with the January 27th, 2022 docket. And we have here F3468-21-4 in the interest of the Sierra Hernandez children.
Yes.
And there's Mr. Vasquez, he's here, and so Mr. Trevino. And we're set for what? Temporary orders?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here, Gilbert Vasquez, on behalf of Sarah Jo Hernandez, Your Honor, and I believe I saw her on the screen a little while ago, Your Honor.
Gregorio
All right.
Trevino, Your Honor, for Cedric Britton, he's on the Zoom.
Right, he's on also. I see him there. And I
Yes.
also see Sarah Jo. I think
Yes.
Ms. Sarah is, I think, muted, but we see her on the screen. And gentlemen, what do we have here?
Your Honor, we're asking for temporary orders, Your Honor. Since we filed this lawsuit, my client has had another child with with Cedric, and I apologize, I can't remember his last name right now. Britton, Mr. Britton. And
Yes.
so we've added him to that new child to the lawsuit. The child was born in November, Your Honor. And but right now we're just asking for temporary orders as far as visitation, custody, and child support, Your Honor, and medical and dental insurance.
All right, and have you folks had a chance to discuss it, talk it over?
Your Honor, we talked, Mr. Vasquez and I, about the issue of the second child. We don't have a problem with the first child, because that first child, there has been a DNA test, I believe, and Mr. Britton is the biological dad.
Okay.
The second child, there is an issue with that, so we'd like to at least have the court order today, and we can follow up with a written order for a lab analysis, a lab test for DNA testing to confirm, so that we can then go through the process. Unfortunately, we're going to have to come back on another hearing for that temporary orders regarding the second child as well, if it is established that Mr. Britton is the daddy. So temporary orders today, Judge, we have no problem with that. Mr. Vasquez and I talked about it. Mr. Britton at the time is unemployed. We can show that he's unemployed. And perhaps if we're gonna do temporary orders, it should be on the basis of an unemployed person, which is at minimum wage, which is $1,430 or whatever the amount is per month, Your Honor. That's all we have to offer, Judge, at this time. So if we can work something out, we would. He does have variances. There are 6 children, 4 of which are minors, I believe, Mr. Britton. And therefore, we would do a child support. We would offer child support on a minimum wage scale at variance of 4, Your Honor. That's what we have now to show and to prove to the court.
Your Honor, and the only issue and that's fine. I mean, we can base it on temporary orders, right? I mean, on unemployment or whatever the situation may be, minimum wage. However, I'm concerned about the number of children, the variance. I want to determine, or I want proof that those are his children, not that they're his wife's children from a previous relationship. I need to see either that they're his children and he has an order to support his children elsewhere. I mean, just because he's got children out of the house, maybe he does, but if there are no child support orders to support those children, then we can't get that variance.
Yes, those 4 children do reside with him.
And they're his biological?
Yes, biological, and they reside with him. We can get you an affidavit or whatever it is from the mama or from the current spouse that has the twins, the 2 babies, 6 and 5, and then we have the other 2 minors that live with him as well.
Okay, I just want to make sure those other minors, you said 6 or 4 variants?
6 total, but 4 are minors. Mr. Vasquez. And they are living with him.
Okay. So I guess if we can see the birth certificates and an affidavit, that wouldn't hurt. That's fine.
Yes.
So the only other issue would be the retro child support, Your Honor. And I talked to Mr. Trevino yesterday that we would not decide that right now, that we can come back at another time if we establish child support's another amount. We can handle all that at one time.
That's correct. We did talk about that as well, Mr. Oscars and I.
Okay, so for today, just temporary orders, and they're going to be temporary. And then when it comes down to the final figure, I think we can either adjust it or do what we got to do.
Yes, Your Honor. And then as far as custody, we're just requesting supervised visitation when he does want to visit. He lives, I believe, still in Houston, Mr. Trevino, is that correct?
Yes, he's in, yes, the
So-
Houston, North Houston area.
Okay, so we just need to make sure that we get some notice that he does want to actually participate in visitation so we can make, plans around that. And then, I don't know if you want to do a couple of hours on a Saturday or what would be good for him or what.
Preferably a weekend, that would be good. It would have to be at a location that is perhaps somewhere not at her house, at the mom's house, but somewhere that would be convenient for both parties, not a
Okay.
public place because of the COVID situation, as you and I discussed. But perhaps somewhere convenient to both parties, an outdoor area, depending on the weather. That would be chaperoned by someone, perhaps supervised by someone, that adult that we can also have there as a third party to make sure that everything goes well.
Okay, so we hadn't talked about that. We only talked about school visitation.
No, we haven't, but we can move it along as we discuss that as we go move forward on the custody, on the visitation area. Really is no custody, it's a visitation.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
public area, public place,
Okay.
suggested, and we will be there.
Okay, you're talking about like 2 hours on the Saturday and then what, also on Sunday?
If we're
Couple of
here
hours
also mid-morning perhaps, or noon, at least 2 hours and 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 and 2.
Can have Saturday.
Okay,
And then I guess we'll try to figure out, my client didn't feel comfortable at her parents' house and she didn't think that Mr. Britton would either. So
Parents?
yeah, somewhere, I guess somewhere public, I guess we can talk about that. Somewhere where they both feel safe with the COVID situation and everything, but my client's willing to go into a public place. I don't
okay,
think we necessarily need a third party to watch them. But
Okay,
I'll talk to Greg about that.
okay. Well then, yeah, get something ready for the court signature, so and then let me know so we can sign it.
Okay, and we'll just
And
go ahead
the
and
reason-
establish. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Vasquez. The reason that I mentioned third party to check them out is because of that alleged incident that did occur between my client's current wife and your client. So I just want peace. I just want peace, tranquility for the babies, and what's in the best interest of the children. Just total peace, if you don't mind.
I'll work on that. And then also on,
Yes.
if child support can begin, it's going to begin February 1st.
February 1st, at minimum wage, February 1st. I'll get you first certificates for the variances, and we can go from there.
And
Okay.
then, and the medical, we'll also do the medical, the cash medical, or
Yes,
I'll check on that. I think my client has insurance, but I'll check on that with you all. also.
thank you. Okay.
All right,
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, gentlemen, you
That's
got
all
some
we have.
homework to do, so let's do it, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Stay, Judge.
and let me know when you finish. Thank you so much. You may be excused. Have a great day.
You too, Your Honor.